Hello, 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 my friends. Kaitlyn here, and does crying make you weak? Oh, are you a little cry baby? Boo-hoo. What? Why are you like this? So this video comes from a little thought snowball I found myself in last week. It all started from a conversation with my boyfriend who's going through some not fun grief stuff right now. And he was saying how he cried like the whole night before coming to visit me, but he didn't want to tell me because he thought it would make him look weak. And I was like, whoa, excuse me. Crying does not make you weak. Crying is a part of life. It is a natural reaction to sadness, grief, and really any kind of overwhelming emotion. So we had to have a little talk about how sharing emotions is healthy and how I'm not going to think he's a weak man because he cried. To be honest, in this situation, I'd maybe be more concerned if he didn't cry. But afterward, I started thinking about why he thinks this way, and really why pretty much every guy I've ever dated has also thought this way. Like, a phrase I'm very used to hearing from guys is like, I don't cry, except for maybe in movies like Rocky or Remember the Titans. Those really get me. And okay, those movies have sad moments for sure. I can totally understand why you would cry, but I don't understand why it's some kind of weird status symbol. Like, the number of guys I have held while they have sobbed because something traumatic or generally awful happened to them or in their life is not nearly as surprising as how much I have had to reassure them that I am not going to in any way judge them or think of them as weak because of them crying. So that thread probably leads into a discussion about toxic masculinity, and I know that's a triggering topic, and some people immediately are like, SJW feminazi. When really, all I'm trying to say here is that there is definitely a culture where crying is made out to be not okay and a sign of weakness for both men and women, although I think men definitely get it as a much stronger message. What I think is interesting though is that I am much more forgiving and supportive of other people when it comes to crying than I am for myself. I cry super easily. I always have. I assume I always will. Anytime I get overwhelmed, it can be with sadness or embarrassment, betrayal, anger, or confusion, really anything, even happiness. I just can't contain my emotions, I guess. Tears just start pouring, which has always been super embarrassing to me because it usually happens at the most inopportune times, and I can't always get my emotions under control easily again. Like in class in high school if I got embarrassed, or this one time at a professor's office hours when I got super frustrated. Plus very frequently when having tough conversations with boyfriends throughout the years. And many of those times, well, most of those times growing up, someone made me feel like there was something wrong with me for crying. Like I was doing it on purpose to be overdramatic, or I was a baby, or I was weird or crazy. And that one turned out to be closest to the truth because I have depression, and well, uncontrollable crying can be a symptom. But I definitely internalized that because now as an adult, I'm the one that makes me feel like something's wrong for crying, which isn't healthy and like the opposite of the message that I try to send to friends and past boyfriends. So what gives, dude? I guess the moral here is that I know crying doesn't make you weak. And I imagine most people believe this too, but it can be harder to implement in your own life. Whether it's being more forgiving to yourself for crying or to being able to deal with other people crying for whatever reason. But you can do it. Being kinder to yourself and to others is always going to be the best answer. So maybe I have to have a conversation with every guy I've ever dated saying that crying doesn't make you weak. But that's okay, because maybe I'm the first person that's ever told them that, and it helps them to be more in tune with their own emotions. If me having that conversation can help other people be kinder to themselves and remind me that I need to be kind to myself too, then I don't see the problem in that. So let me know down in the comments if seeing crying as a weakness for yourself or other people is something that you struggle with, or if you have any other questions you want me to address in a video. And as always, you can check me out on these other social media sites, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know the moment there's a new video. And I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye!